As I mentioned in another video earlier, this information has really nothing to do with solar energy, but it's something that literally everybody that pays an electric bill can take advantage of and save a lot of money. If you want to save over 80% on your light bill, switch over to LED lights. That's the secret, literally. It's literally that simple. Now, please understand that when I say save 80% on your light bill, I don't mean your entire electric bill. The savings you'll see is from what it costs you to run your lights that you switch out to LED, which can be quite significant. Now, I've heard that the average home has over 50 light bulbs in it. Now, if that's a legitimate number, and it doesn't matter whether it is or not, but I only have 34 lights in my small home, which means some of you have upwards of 70 to 100 lights that you could be saving money on. Now, I'm going to do 4 things in this video for you. 1, I'll show you some examples of what I've experienced. 2, I'll explain some numbers to help you get a better perspective. And then, number 3, I'll give you some pointers about what to look for when you shop for LED lights. A little knowledge could save you quite a bit of frustration, especially when you're first starting to switch over, because there's some simple yet basic differences that retailers don't bother telling you when you're in the store looking for LED lights. And sometimes they just don't know. And number 4, I'll give you an example of what I'm actually using on my home with my porch lights. So you can see that we're using actual costs for this example. I'll show you an Eversource electric bill from a resident of Norwood, Massachusetts from May of 2015. Now keep in mind, it doesn't matter what you're paying for your electricity. The only difference in the numbers we use as our example and the actual amount that you save will be determined by what you are actually paying for your electricity. But the percentage of your savings will remain the same no matter what you're paying. Okay, so you can see that the cost per kilowatt for this household is 25.7 cents. Now we get that number by simply adding the delivery and the generation charges together. And when I show you a copy of my bill, you'll see a different process of charging. The assumptions that we're using for this example are that we're comparing a 60 watt incandescent bulb with a 9 and a 12 watt LED bulb, and that the light burns for 5 hours per day. Later, when I show you my personal electric bill, I'll compare the 40 watt light with a 4.5 watt light, which is what I actually have on my garage and porch lights. Now on this chart, we're showing the difference between the cost of 1 bulb over a year's time versus 10 bulbs over the course of 10 years. Now some people will ask about the major difference of cost between the incandescent lights and the LED lights. But if you're comparing apples to apples, LED lights are cheaper by far than incandescent lights. Even if you're paying $10 for an LED bulb, which if you do, you haven't done any research. As you can see here on Amazon, you can get even dimmable bulbs for less than $8 a piece. And dimmable bulbs are generally more expensive, and you can get them shipped free if you're a Prime member. But even at $10 per bulb, the light is paid for in savings within the first year. And I've had LED bulbs for over 5 years now, and not one of them have stopped working, unlike the regular bulbs, which we do still have a few of. An example of that would be the entry gate to the property that we live on. When the gates were first installed about 10 years ago, I was replacing the 60 watt bulbs about every 4 months. When I finally wised up and put in 2 13 watt LED lights over 5 years ago, I haven't replaced them since. So the savings are real, and when you realize that 10 light bulbs over a 10-year period can cost you this much, it makes the decision to switch a whole lot easier. Now let me show you my personal light bill from August of last year. We take the total amount due for the month and divide it by the number of kilowatt hours that we used, and you can see that my electricity for this month was 15.3 cents per kilowatt. Now this is a picture of my garage lights, and I have 2 other fixtures just like these on my front and back door of the house. Each fixture is designed to hold two 40-watt lights. And these lights are on from dusk to dawn. So we're just going to call that 9 hours per day. What I found was that with the right LED light, I could get almost the same output with one 4.5 watt LED bulb in each fixture. So I went from 8 40-watt bulbs to 4 4.5 watt bulbs. And now let me show you what I'll have saved each year and then over the course of 10 years from now. By the way, this is the light that I replaced the 40-watt bulbs with. And the lights you're seeing in this picture are the LED lights, not the 40-watt bulbs. This little flare thingy makes all the difference in light output. And I think it's actually called a flare thingy, but don't quote me on that until I'm sure about it, okay? So you can see from making the changes that I did, the light, which cost me about $7 at Home Depot, will pay for itself in about 6 months. And over the 10-year period, I'll save over $1,500. So I hope this helps you realize the value of LED lights. There are several other topics that we'll be covering in the weeks ahead to help you understand even more about the nuances of lights and what works better than others. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the YouTube channel and we'll alert you when we post the new videos. Also, to make it easier for you to research more about LED lights, I've included a link below in the description about the LED light that I talked about. And thanks for your time, and I'll see you in the next video.